Yo, welcome back to the Red or Blue Pill channel, people. Appreciate you coming back, subscribers and members. If you're new, what we do is go through creepy and disturbing videos that will make you question reality. If you like what you see, don't forget to sub up, turn on notifications. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It all helps with the algorithm. But with that being said, let's roll. Let's go.
Video is for entertainment purposes only.
What the fuck happened at the Grammy Awards? Here are the 4 strangest moments you couldn't miss. Like every year, someone always speaks up to say that Beyoncé should win. But this joke is getting less and less funny. This time, it was none other than Miley Cyrus who announced that Beyoncé deserved the award.
The Grammy goes to... Even if it's not you, Beyoncé, I might just say this.
And of course, Kendrick Lamar didn't take it well. Then we literally witnessed a ritual or an even stranger spectacle when Kanye West asked his wife to take off her coat and fully reveal herself to the press. Bianca's father, Leo Sansouris, was furious after this appearance. Next, Jaden Smith showed up in a very weird outfit. But what was even more disturbing was his face. He looked younger. He had the exact same face as in 2016. Finally, I haven't seen many people talk about this moment, even though it was probably the most shocking of all. A French rock band won an award, but during their acceptance speech, they were making satanic hand signs, and everyone was laughing and clapping, as if a large part of the audience knew exactly what those signs meant, and were all in on it together.
I genuinely don't watch TV anymore, so I have no idea what's going on unless it's when I'm researching some good old content for you guys. So that looked very weird indeed. Jaden Smith had a house on his head and he didn't look happy. And yeah, he did look quite young. He's like a double of his dad. And then the weird stuff. Just what's the old Beyonce thing? It's very strange. It's just strange. It is a strange old world we live in, people.
I think that AI is a very ancient technology. In the book of Ezekiel, especially, the vision of them traveling in these craft that are a wheel within a wheel. So they had to have made these in a different realm. So they have a technology. I think our understanding of technology is just different.
I don't think we could even do the math on what that tech would look like because we are limited by the dimensions we are.
And we're not meant to understand it.
Again, we're going to go full circle back where it talks about it'll be like the days of Noah.
Yeah.
I think the days of Noah were way more complicated than just people being bad people, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was just like Nephilim walking around. I think if you talk about like the Tower of Babel, I believe they truly possessed this heavenly type of technology that could be devastating to humans. It's like the tree of good and evil, right? This is a thing from the heavens that they were probably messing with in the days of Noah because of the fallen angels introducing all these things. And then I think that's getting reintroduced today through potentially AI, quantum computers.
This may be a dumb question, right? They took a bite. Was their knowledge actually given?
I believe so.
This is what I'm saying, people. Finally, somebody is saying what I think, and I don't know why I think it. I just think it. You know, people talk about downloads, like just get information given to you. Like sometimes I do feel like there is information coming into my head, and it's not mine. Like that. And as weird as it sounds, I just come up with stuff, and I say stuff, and then after I'm like, what did I just say? And how did I just come up with that? And where have I got that information from? But basically, what he's just said there at the start, I've just randomly come up. I've had this in my head, thought process, and I've mentioned it on previous videos, that I think that we are starting to plug stuff in that was here before. It is stuff which has been wiped away with AI. It's all here, like all the infrastructure under the sea with the internet and what's going on with quantum computers, all this stuff is stuff from a very advanced civilization that has been wiped away for some reason. And for some reason, people are starting to just plug this stuff in, and we have no idea the repercussions of or what we are turning on. And this artificial intelligence that is starting to come up, maybe a lot more intelligent than what we are, and we're playing around with this sort of stuff. And yeah, it's scary, like really, if you think about it. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you, people? Yeah.
The wars on Mars went on. There was a 100,000-year war, and a lot of us were involved in this 100,000-year war. And while this was going on,
Between who?
Now, between who? Okay, well, so the basis of it was between the Lyrans, or the Nordics, and the Dracos, because the Dracos are chasing the Nordics around because they want their DNA, because that allows them to maintain the holographic projection of a human being whilst they're here. So the 100,000, this was a long war. Eventually, at the end of it, what happened was that they had to call a ceasefire because so many were killed on either side. But there was a disease that got out, a virus that got out during this war, and a lot of us who were very involved in what was going on, generals, commanders who were up there, contracted this virus.
I mean, it seems it must have been created.
It was created virus, yeah, and a lot of us contracted this virus, and what this virus was, some of us took it on board, took it and merged it, superimposed it into our own physical body to try and overcome it. And then now a lot of us still have it. I have it in me still now.
What does it do?
Well, it's vampirical. It's sort of like I mean, it's like a stereotypical vampire.
So what does that mean? You shapeshift and your teeth go on and you bite people at night?
It means that, well, yeah, but only somebody who was able to see or sensitive to that would be able to see it. It's not as if I would change now into a monster like that. So if you're sensitive, you can see it.
What is the true shape then?
Of this particular one? Well, from this particular vampirical virus, they tend to look, this vampire sort of thing looks a bit like that old stereotypical vision of Nosferatu. Very, very pale skin, bald head, sort of dark eyes and sharp teeth, like that.
From the original movie?
Yes, like that. Looks sort of like
original silent movies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has the ability. It doesn't have a core here. It doesn't have a central core where it maintains itself. It sort of has an opening here, like a void. So it doesn't maintain its own thing. So it doesn't maintain its own energy force. It has to take from others to maintain its holographic projection. And a number of us were infected by this particular virus that happened there.
Now why is that going to be a thing that would cause harm to people? What's the point?
Well, because it becomes like a parasite, and then it starts to spread, and more and more and more. So it's like a parasitic virus that's on the...
Wow, 1,000-year war. And they're probably going to be more advanced people, right? These Nordics and reptilians and what have you. But yet they still see the benefits of being in war. Like someone like me, who is a human, has no idea what's going on in the world, knows that the world would be better without war. And then you see all these, great people that are very, in higher places, dimensions, or whatever you want to call it, or, if they're in Mars, I don't know. I'm thinking of like Star Trek maybe, in spaceships. They're flying, whizzing around, but they're still fighting. Why? Why are we still fighting? Let's just chill out, all become friends. You can have the Nordics and the reptilians. You can go to the bar and get a drink and talk about their experiences, come together and learn, That's what life should be about. It don't matter if you're a reptilian. Yeah.
Is well ahead of what people know. Because where I was, right place, right time, I saw some of that.
You occasionally still work at Area 51, right?
We call it the test site or the test range. Area 51 is just one component of that entire huge sprawling compound. During that time, a green orb type object had flown over, and that was where the weird shit started. We moved on down another hallway, and it had a marking on the wall and said off-world technology.
That's insane.
Metallic, basketball-sized sphere. Looked like it was just levitating above the podium. It looked unnatural. I'm looking at it, and it almost looked like a mirage type of effect. And above that display screen were these hieroglyphic symbols that I started to see appear. This is encoded in something deeper.
Way deeper.
Do you know what? I just hope in the future that we have a bank holiday, which is called Global Disclosure Day, where everybody just has to disclose everything they know, and we learn the full truth from every single government in the whole world or universe, maybe. But you don't know what they're going to say. It could be underwater, could be above, who knows? It could be a lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff. But yeah, I think they're hundreds of years ahead of us with technology here. I really do. I do. I think from a business point of view, from a corporate point of view, I think businesses, just on the face of things, are like 10 years ahead. So they're working on things for monetized reasons. They're going to be ahead of the game. They're getting stuff ready to come to be ahead of the game, always, constantly, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And then you think sort of, black projects, deep underground, what they're after, what they're doing. That's going to be, tens, I think hundreds of years ahead of where we're at. And then if you think if it's off-world stuff, that's reverse engineered, it's just going to be off the charts stuff that we've got. But yeah, it's a bonkers world.
They're low. 3 of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. He said 3 of them, and he focused on the helicopters rather than the UFOs, which, I think I'd be going for the UFOs rather than helicopters, but yeah, you never know.
So energies and stuff like
we
that.
We're establishing that the Rothschilds are at the top, at the top level, the highest that it goes. That the head of the Rothschild family is the Pindar. So it's the man who runs the whole show. Comes from the Rothschild family. He's been doing that certainly for the last 200 or 300 years.
You're talking about basically the planetary, the planetary or the solar system lord that runs the manor.
He is the go-between for the inner Earth reptilian species and the outer, the external hybrids. So he's the one, the go-between. He's the head. He was the only person who Queen Mother would had to kind of cower away from, was Pindar is about
right. And this is the model, basically the model where all planets are actually gates. They're surrounded by black holes. So this is what Nassim Haramein and people are talking about. So the inner Earth, the inner Sun, is the black.
That's interesting. I've been on this show, on this channel, I have been saying that, there's stuff going on and we're seeing the side effects of it, that Depinder, I'd never heard of the guy, but I just researched it, and he died in 2021 of a heart attack. And then in 2024, we've seen his family, take a big hit from the outside looking in. It looks like, something's going on. So what is going on? Is the connections between the inner Earth. So there's something going on. We're very small and minute, and we're just seeing the repercussions, I believe, of what is really going on. But yeah, I didn't know about that. I just knew about the people that passed in 2024, but it goes back to 2021 of that. And if he's the head, the chief, the Don, then and he's gone, and you can see why the domino effect's happening. Yeah, and you can sort of link it with the the president, like the current president, and the big tug of war. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, Joe, so here's the thing about your comment. So 8 years ago, I followed this movement, and this movement was absolutely terrorized on the news, in the media, by all of the newspapers. Even people that had never looked or knew what this was about started trying to do the same. But the thing for me is, when a message is like this, well then I don't really care whether anybody's trying to take the mick or to mock, because read this. This is what it was all about. If you don't want to be part of something like that, then obviously there must be something wrong with you. The message remained the same the whole way through. And it's all about looking after the kids, protecting the children, all of our children. And it's about staying together. It is about being unified. It is about not letting ourselves be divided. Who wouldn't want to be part of that message? They even talked about fake news and Hollywood puppets. So it's that was all me. Every single bit of that sucked me in, because my soul aligned with every single message that these people spoke about. Now, that was 8 years ago. And 8 years later...
Yeah, let's just all be nice to each other. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be a nice life. But the people saying that they want to be nice are probably the ones that don't want to be nice, because we live in an upside down world. You just don't know who to trust. Everybody's like the ultimate trickster, it seems, and they have far better technology to be able to trick us. So they think 20 years ahead, for instance, and we're thinking about today. So somebody who's 20 years ahead in their planning, probably going to be able to be quite convincing, you know?
And the person who is helping him do that stood over Donald Trump in the White House today, thereby delivering a picture of presidential subservience, the likes of which we have never seen. The most powerless image of a president of the United States ever created by a camera. There it is. In that shot, Elon Musk is doing everything he possibly can to tell the world, without saying a word, that Donald Trump is not the boss of me. Donald Trump is the boss of the other adults in that shot, Stephen Miller and Will Scharf, and that's why they are following Donald Trump's lead on the dress code for the Oval Office, which is the same dress code that has existed for every previous president. The child was there as a power play by Elon Musk, demonstrating he can do whatever he wants in that room. When Donald Trump is your boss, you don't bring your kid into a business meeting with Donald Trump. And when Donald Trump is your boss, you don't talk more than Donald Trump in a business meeting with Donald Trump. Elon Musk spoke 3,666 words. Donald Trump spoke 2,487 words. Mike Pence never had a day like that in the Oval Office with Donald Trump. J.D. Vance will never have a day like that in the Oval Office with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is the boss of J.D. Vance. When the president speaks in the Oval Office, no one else does. Except today. Elon Musk interrupted Donald Trump when Donald Trump was speaking, and Elon Musk's 4-year-old child spoke while Donald Trump was speaking. And nothing could demonstrate the power of Elon Musk more than his child speaking while Donald Trump was speaking.
Look, how's this guy put a chip in somebody's head and he can control a computer? Have we worked that one out yet? Like, because that is simulation 101. Like, that means we are connected to computers. If you can put a chip, I've just thought about this. Is he the real boss? Is it, like I keep talking about all this, we're plugging in like AI, and he's doing this with chips, and he's probably got one in his head. Like, is he being controlled by the real boss, which is AI? And is that the real boss? And that's who is controlling all of this stuff, His son's called X. Elon Musk's son is called X. Like, is that just a bit, I don't know, like people are out there with names and stuff, but X, it's got relevance to the number 6, right? And the kid was just tearing it up. Like with Donald Trump, he was telling them he weren't the president and get out and all sorts. Oh, I don't know. That's weird. Very weird.
To restore democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy? To restore democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy?
End of the show, peeps, but do not worry. There is another video on my other channel. Link over here. Go and have a watch. Much to the muchness. Have a good evening.